Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Theta. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, before we get into the actual TA, I quickly want to mention the link down below in the description. Feel free to donate to the kids in Gaza right now. They are in need of our help. And without further ado, let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, as you can see, we have a nice explosion here from the bottom that we printed in October, just like we have with many other altcoins. And if you want to draw a falling wedge pattern, you can also do that here, and it's just going to show you how the price was tightening up in between the support and the resistance here. And obviously we had a massive explosion. Your target was met here at 85 cents. That was your important level, the target from this falling wedge, and like I said, that was perfectly met. And of course we pumped even higher than that. So from this low, we already managed to go up approximately 109% if you count in this wick. And right now we are sitting at approximately 76%. Now, we did give you this massive support block from 79 cents down to 55 cents many months ago, even before we got down to it initially here in December 2022. So I gave you this block based on this trading range from October and November 2020. As you can see, we had a nice back test of resistance, a nice back test of support, and then we exploded into the bull market in 2021, and we haven't been down in this area since until December 2022, and then we came back in June 2023, and we almost tested the bottom of this block at 55 cents. So realistically speaking, are we going to be coming back down to 55 cents? If things continue the way they are, if we have a nice retracement, a healthy retracement, a higher low, and we don't have any major FUD coming out regarding Bitcoin or any other major exchanges, then it is possible, we have printed the bear market low, but we can't be really certain of that unless we start breaking some major resistance levels. And as you all know, on the majority of the altcoins, the target that I have for determining whether the bear market bottom is in or not is this August 2022 local high. And once we are able to get to that level and break above it and, create a support level or turn that into a support level, that's going to be a massive signal telling us that the bear market bottom has been printed, because this is a very important level that sent us into this spiral, into the, into the abyss. We had this initial crash in April 2022, and then we tried to recuperate and recover, but unfortunately this level here at $1.70 just sent us down, and we were able to start accumulating tokens at lower prices. And we, of course, on Patreon, I did advise you of all of my Theta buys, and I think our average buying price is somewhere around 80 cents or something like that, but we've also been buying down here as well. So if you were following the Patreon, you were following my channel in general and my Theta updates, you would have had a very nice average buying price between 79 cents and 55 cents. So if you still don't have any tokens for whatever reason, you can target the 79 cents region, because we could still come back down to that area, back test it as support, and have the next leg up from there. That is a very real possibility. And if you take a look at the RSI, we have some confluence towards that fact, because we are printing a bearish divergence here on the daily chart. You can see that the RSI is printing a lower high, while the price action is essentially printing or bouncing off a horizontal resistance. So we're printing a bearish divergence here, and this usually is going to end up with a retracement. Now, whether we bottom out at 79 cents and have a move to the upside, or we continue even lower, that is yet to be seen. We can't look into the future, but this is a good level for you to be targeting. Also, a good level for you to be targeting is this over here. So this is a level that's sitting at 86 cents. This was our resistance back in July. We broke above it in November and had a perfect back test of support November 21st, and it moved to the upside from there. So 86 cents was a really good level to enter. If you haven't done that, when you initially retested it here, you could do that the next time we come back down there. We could have a bounce from there, because you can see we had a bounce in May this year, in March this year, in January this year. So it's a pretty significant level, to say the least, and that could be your first entry. Then you have 79 cents, and then you can target some of these local lows from August, July, and June, as you can see, and you can just continue dollar cost averaging as long as you're in this blue support block. Realistically speaking, I don't think we're going to be losing this bear market low, right? Worst case scenario is we do come back down and have essentially a double bottom here, but that's worst case scenario, of course, excluding any black swan events and any major market crashes that we could have because of some major events like another war breaking out, China invading Taiwan, and so on and so forth. That could really shake the markets. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to be going below 55 cents at this point. Now, I do want to take a look at the weekly chart just so we can get better levels and take a look at what is potentially going to be the near future for Theta. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40+ low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. So taking a look at Theta on the weekly chart, as you can see, we were in this channel down pattern. A lot of altcoins were sitting in a very similar pattern, and as you can see, we broke out here in November. And what we need to do right now is we need to hold the 20 EMA as support, and we are failing to break above the 55, which is expected. That's a massive resistance level. The last time we touched that level was back in January 2022. So if we are able to stay in between the EMAs so that they can come closer together, then we could have a really good chance at a strong breakout, potentially taking us to $2.20 or around 20 cents in January, February, March next year. That could be a really, really good move to the upside for us, which would be very reminiscent of what we saw back in February 2021. We had a strong breakout from there, and we could have a very, very similar thing once we get another bounce from the 20 EMA. But that's hypothetical, of course. It doesn't have to reflect the past in the exact same way, but just to let you know, our next major targets are going to be at these lows here. As you can see, that's between $2.65 and $2.20. Once we are above that, I think it's very, very clear that we are going to be targeting the all-time high sometime towards the end of 2024. But that is, too far into the future right now. What you want to do if you don't have any Theta tokens, and of course this is not a financial advice, is you want to target the 20 EMA on the weekly for entries. If by any chance you get an opportunity to buy the tokens below the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, then consider yourself in a very, very fortunate position, because over here, this was a good buying opportunity, and you were below the 20. Over here, you were below the 20. This was a really good buying opportunity. The same could be said about this bottom in January 2023 and this bottom in June 2022. Now, of course, you didn't know that you were going to be down here, almost 50% down from this June bottom. But when you're so overextended from these, from the EMAs, you typically see a move to the upside. And when you're in a downtrend in a bear market, you continuously go down with these, short-term breakouts. But when you are approaching the bull market, things could get really bullish really quickly. So this breakout that we're in right now could be much stronger than these few that we had, and this could lead us into the bull market essentially. So be careful swing trading and trying to sell here and just buy back 10% lower so that you can enter, because the price could start pumping crazy and you won't be able to catch up, and you'll just be left down here with your stinky fiat, and you don't want to do that. Trust me, I've been through that, and you want to avoid making those mistakes selling right before a massive takeoff. Taking a look at the weekly RSI, you can see that the RSI also had a pretty strong breakout, and we covered this many times on our videos. And the next time we come back down to this block, maybe it's going to be sometime in 2024. If we have a major crash, maybe that could happen when we get to the next bear market, who knows. But a retracement after such a strong move to the upside is of course expected, and what you could do here is you could expect a retracement back down to this area over here. Let me get that knob on. So you can see this area had a few nice retests of resistance and support as well a few times, but for the most part this was a resistance level that held us down. So we want to come back down into this block, consolidate there for a bit, and have the next leg up. As you can see, that would have been a really good entry point if that would have happened. But if that does happen and you're able to catch the price and when the RSI is down here, then just know that that's a good area to buy some Theta. I personally have a pretty okay bag of Theta tokens compared to my other holdings, and obviously we're not going to be selling at $2, $3, $4 here. We're going to be waiting for at least $15 to $20 to start taking profits, because I do think the project is going to be doing really well considering how well the chart looks, and the team has been developing, of course, and the Theta technology is being used and has demand already. So we'll be expecting higher prices than the ones we've seen during the previous bull market. So what we can potentially look at is $30 here for your bull market target for Theta. Of course, we could go higher. No one knows how high we are going to get, but it's important to start taking profits. If you really want to be careful about it, you can start taking profits at $6 and then just make your way all the way up to $30 by gradually dollar cost averaging your way out. It depends on what your financial situation is and what is your strategy in general and what is your goal. But for the most part, you want to be taking profits along the way, right? You don't want to wait until you get to the peak and then try to time it perfectly and then just sit out the correction and then buy during the next bear market. That's the ideal situation, of course, but just don't expect that you are going to be able to do that. Like, a few people only will be fortunate enough to actually time the market perfectly, and you just don't want to be betting on that. That's not a healthy plan, in my opinion. But let me know what your plan is. Let me know what are your price targets for the next bull market. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe and take care.